Mics are hot. And indeed, the mics are hot. Here we go again. One more time again. That should be a song like that, right? It's another hump day, midweek, if you will, as we make our way to the weekend. I'm Rayford Brown, and this is Live and Local Real Talk.
I'm Chris Marks. Good to be back in the fold again.
Yeah. How was your 24-hour vacation?
Bubble Girl is doing well.
Oh, that's good. She hasn't fallen yet?
No, she's doing good.
Can you hear me now?
Girls, good morning. My headphones don't work.
Your headphones don't work.
But
Well,
she's still Lee
it'll
Barrows.
get there. It's going to be coming. Boy, I tell you what. Whoa. I wasn't sure the event of Monday night were going to ever end, and I guess they're not here in Onslow County.
No.
So, oh Lord of mercy, you folks out there, you're wild and crazy, and I know nothing more about the events of Monday night this morning than I knew yesterday morning at this time. It's confirmed. The commissioners fired David Smitherman for what they said was just cause. Those actions constitute personnel matters and are, in most cases, protected and not available to we the people. That's just what personnel action is all about when you're getting with the employers. I have a few clues and tidbits and rumors and innuendos and gossip and unverified information, and the problem with all of that is just that. It's unverified, not really information. If it's not verified, it's not information. It falls under rumors, gossip, and whatever. The hate will continue. It'll slowly die out. The questions will stay with us. Those who have the questions, who have made the most noise, they will never let it die because they will say, but what if? The biggest word in the dictionary is if. The termination of a contract, in effect, the termination of the county manager will remain an issue. And unfortunately, it is now a political issue during the heat of the political season. Other than the socialist media rantings, postings that have no substance, do either of you have anything of merit to deal with the issue? I want to offer?
No.
Meaning?
No, you don't have anything?
Well, I told you this morning that Smitherman came out with another statement.
Yeah, he came out and it was on WI10, I think.
Yes, it was saying
the county
that
manager, the county commission chairman, Tim Foster, put out a statement. We'll read it in just a minute or
yes.
two. The most that I can offer is an opinion. Because that's what I do.
Let's hear it.
An opinion. 7 elected representatives voted to separate County Manager Smitherman from the position in a unanimous vote on a motion for cause. Got it? Unless some agreement has been reached, there is no salary nor severance pay due to Mr. Smitherman. And County Commission Chairman Tim Foster said that yesterday. There's nothing. Smitherman provided WITN News with a statement yesterday, told them that the commissioners wanted him to violate ethical standards, of which Commission Chairman Foster denied. He felt so strongly as to, think about this for just a second. I'm going to analyze it. If 2 of those county commissioners who were seeking re-election to the board, while supporting the termination, felt so strongly as to risk re-election, I would have to assume they were either out of their minds or there was something going on that could not wait until after the March 3rd primary election. Would that not be a reasonable assumption? Either y'all gone absolutely jumped off the cliff and went crazy, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Bennett. You either did that because you knew you would be risking re-election efforts, and you could have waited 3 weeks until March 3rd, and then it would have been definitely nothing but a political move because you were been doing it for political reasons. So you didn't do that. So you either are nuts, because the other 5 commissioners, you could have let them carry the ball.
Yeah.
You could have voted, I'm going to abstain from this right now for whatever. And the deed would have still been done. Or there's something there. On top of that, the county has already begun working on the annual budget that must be completed and adopted by the end of June. And the manager is heavily involved in those activities.
Mhm.
I mean, all the department heads around the county, they supply what their budgets are, what their needs are to the county manager. And the county manager then takes all of that, puts it all together, and he submits a manager's budget proposal to the county commissioners, right? That's the way it works. So right now, to take this action now without a really good reason would make absolutely no sense whatsoever. So again, either there's a problem with the loss of sanity up there in the commission chambers.
Mhm.
I know Royce is laughing.
Right.
Or there's got to be some other reason here that they can't tell us by law
By law.
under the current conditions. If I've said this before, not having the details, mainly because this is the personnel matter, and the county commissioners are under strict rules about releasing details
That's right.
contained in personnel records. Like you, I will have to wait to see what happens next on the legal scene. Speculation as to what went down is nothing more than glorified gossip.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
I agree.
If there's no severance pay, which
That's right.
we believe there's no severance pay, I don't know that it takes any further. I mean, I know we mentioned legal action, but what?
He can. He's
What-
talked about that apparently to WITN in some form or fashion. From the Tim Foster, the commission chairman. This is a statement released yesterday. This is a quote from him. Don't jump up and down. I have received the statement released to the press by Onslow County's former county manager, David Smitherman. In his statement, Mr. Smitherman contends that a group of commissioners requested him to do something that, had he performed as requested, would have violated the International City County Management Association's Code of Ethics. He further states that there were other instances in which he was challenged to breach ethical practice. I have served as the chairman for the Board of Commissioners during Mr. Smitherman's entire tenure as manager. I know of no occasion where any commissioner requested Mr. Smitherman to do something unethical. It is obvious that Mr. Smitherman is upset that a unanimous board decided to terminate his employment agreement, and that Mr. Smitherman intends to lash out by making unfounded and unspecified allegations against those of us who were elected to do what is in the best interest of Onslow County. The Board of Commissioners will not be distracted from our mission of ensuring that Onslow County is a thriving community for all by delivering exceptional services with good governance and fiscal responsibility. That's from Onslow County Commission Chairman Tim Foster. Don't shoot the messengers. All we do is tell you what's going on.
Exactly.
And
Well,
that's just the way. That's the way that is.
we're going to have to let it play out. We don't know.
We
as
do not
citizens.
know. We got a he said, she said.
That's right. And the thing about it is, like you said, they are governed by law. They cannot release personal employment. Whatever happened on the job, they can't release it. But I will tell you this. If David Smitherman takes this to court, things will come out
Well-
and they will be public record, and then we'll know.
Everything that is in his personnel record is subject to being brought up in open court.
That's
You understand
right.
that, right?
That's right.
Now there can be behind the scenes negotiations, which he should have been taking part in during that week, almost 5 days
Mhm.
that they were told, you need to meet with the county attorney, yada, yada, yada. So whatever.
Well, one thing that I'm sorry, Chris, one thing that I saw in Smitherman's statement was that he was disappointed that he was not given the opportunity to try to work it out and to resign, blah, 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 and work out a pay thing. my understanding is he was given, I think it was almost a week, wasn't it, Rayford?
Yeah, whenever they took their action was last Tuesday or Wednesday, right? And he had until Monday at noon.
Monday at
and
noon.
he
And they never heard from him
chose not to do
until
it.
3 p.m.
Right.
His attorney sent an email. So
910-333-0139. Talk about that excitement as well as last night's in the city. I do have a couple of personal thoughts.
About which part?
Well, I'm going to go with the county first.
Okay.
Here's a thought. When they're going to post for a new county manager, to not necessarily have that county manager have to have governmental experience. And the reason I say that is this. It's a business, right?
It is a business. Major business.
The United States government, I said it when Trump was elected the first time, it takes a businessman to run a business, not a person with government experience.
To prepare a budget, I had to do one every year. The most hateful part of that job for a news person.
Same as
I can run a news operation. Loved it. I would have preferred to be in the streets all the time, but when you get up there and your operation grows and it gets bigger and you don't get that opportunity very much. You just don't do it. Sheriff doesn't get out to run on patrols too much.
Nope.
That went out in Jones County with Danny Heath because it's a small county, and he did it. But you're absolutely right. Those of us who had to do it, who were not I didn't take a business course in school ever. I knew math. That was my only saving grace. I had to learn one of those computer things that bookkeepers know.
Excel.
Oh,
okay.
no, what was that? What was that computer program that came out many, many years ago? What was
Excel?
it?
Excel is the one.
It was before that.
Is the one that we used.
It was the bookkeeping service that was so popular.
And I used it.
Somebody listening knows.
And then I had to go the path between my office, which was a long ways from the secretary to the manager's office, was well worn. And I got my shoe leather all up and down it. Because I had to go, okay, now explain to me one more time when I put this in. Where do I put this thing? Hey, it comes all by itself. She said, yes. I said, good, I got through that. Got through that process. I didn't use it again for another year. Guess what? Back down there. I had to be retrofitted every year.
Well, I understand the county and how it works. I understand how it works. I worked for the city. But I also managed the cable company, and you had to. And you want to talk about getting down to the nitty gritty of how many uniforms are you going to have to get, how much gas you're going to use without knowing what the gas prices are going to be. You need someone that knows how to manage money, but more importantly, how to manage people. So you back in your day had to deal with reporters, reporters, weather people, news people.
Had to follow rules like, hey, by the way, none of y'all get to take vacations during hurricane season.
Right.
What?
Or snow.
I believe it's Kathy.
Kathy? Bubble girl?
Hey.
What'd you do? Pop a bubble to get the finger loose to dial?
Hey, now. I was going to say my favorite 3 people in the morning, but
because it's now just 2.
Keep up with the bubble wrap joke. I don't know.
Well, I'm afraid I started that.
Thank you.
But I'll take.
I knew you had something to do with it.
No, I started it, and see, I don't have to run out there and stay with you the other 22 hours of the day. So I will fall on the sword for my friend here.
Thank you.
That's okay. Like I said, I got my squirrels packing their stuff now, and they're heading your way. I'm sending you a tribe.
You can send me all the squirrels you got, because you know what? The price of meat is still getting higher and higher and higher. And the chickens, holy moly.
Yeah.
mine know how to fight back. So
Well,
stand by.
I'm trained to that part.
Peachtree.
Anyhow, I wanted to call in and say something a little bit about. We did early voting the other day, and one thing I want people to know is that they have a machine there for those that cannot stay in the circles because of any kind of like Parkinson's or anything like that. So this machine will just punch up the questions for you, and you get to just pick A, B, C, or D,
Really?
which is great. You're
I didn't know that.
circling. Yes, it's very, very simple, very fast, very efficient. And so if anybody gets the opportunity to use it, it's absolutely amazing. It's a blessing. But at the same time, when we were in there, the gentleman that was helping me, he was very, very, very sweet, very kind, and he walked me right through the steps and everything. But he had this other gentleman sitting on the other side of the room now, who was sitting on a desk, on top of a desk where he was put him above other people, and he was hollering at the gentleman that was helping me, saying, "You make sure you get the paperwork, yada yada yada. You make sure that you enter, yada yada yada." He goes, I know. I've been doing this for years." I said, "Who's the boss here? Is he the boss?" He goes, "He thinks he's the boss. He's the boss, and just overseeing until he gets to his own district. But right now, I'm in charge." And he said, "But he doesn't realize that." And so I just wanted to let people know that sometimes there are people out there that they don't know how to act correctly in public when there's other people out there that are out there voting or doing anything, that they don't need to holler at things, across the room at an employee or a volunteer. These are volunteers.
I got to interrupt you for that one. They do need to do that. They have to do that because they have a personality defect, and the only way they can be noticed is to act like a jerk. How was that one? Did that help you out at all?
I was going to call him an AA,
I've got an opinion.
because there was no sense in it whatsoever. I mean, if you gotta holler at somebody or correct them, just point your finger at him and say, "Come this way," and then talk to him over there. But don't. I mean, I know everything that he told the guy, and it told everybody else in the whole place, and it put him on the defense. I was like, "Don't let him get to you." He goes, "I try not to." He said, "This is the first one to do this machine for me this morning and today." So they said, "We're going to see how the rest of the day goes," because I'm not going to take it any much longer. I said, "I don't blame you." I said, "Were you in the Marine Corps?" He goes, "Yes, I was." Bring it out.
Well, if they need to know how to deal with people like that and never get caught, let me know. I can teach you how.
Girl. You go, girl.
I need you there with me then.
Oh yeah.
You should have been behind me.
It's called it's the process of dirty tricks, and I have got them.
Yes. Well, I'm hoping that he's listening. Either the one that would help me or the one that was doing the hollering across the room is listening, because it was very unprofessional, very unnecessary, and very rude. But like I said, there's people out there that have to do that. It's a power thing, I think.
Yeah, it is.
It's just uncalled for. It's absolutely uncalled for.
They have so very little power in their lives that when they get just a little bit, they have to use it as best they can.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way they can stand out is to act like a fool. It happens on a regular basis. You see it.
Yes.
You see it all the time.
Well, I told the gentleman that was helping me, I said, he either has a wife at home that barks a lot of orders at him, and he doesn't take those, or he does. I said, but more importantly, he probably has a dog that doesn't listen to him either. So.
That would be good. Smart dog.
Yeah.
That's right. You said it's time to go out. I don't think so. I think I'm going to go right here in the middle of this floor.
And you're going to clean it up too.
That's right. You got no choice but to clean it up. So, yeah. But I just wanted to call in and one say happy hump day, and
there you go.
to tell you all that. And Rayford, I do have one little joke for you. Now I got to get ready for some physical therapy. Why do pediatricians?
No. I'm save that one for Dr. Rose. I'm going to ask Dr. Rose that one.
Oh, okay. That's a good one for her. Yeah, that would be a good one for her.
Oh God, I can hardly wait. She's coming up in 10 minutes too, so we'll have to hurry through.
Okay.
I'll make these 10 minutes go by faster. I'll talk faster, and that way it'll get here faster, right?
Yep.
No, it just means you get yourself in more trouble
Yes.
in a quicker amount of time.
That's all right. I've got this pair over here to try to keep me out of trouble. And then my wife says, oh, God, you got in it, you get out of it. All right.
Okay,
Thank you,
good luck,
Kathy.
Lee and Chris, for keeping him out of trouble today.
And
Rayford, you have a great day.
Stay
And the rest of
inside.
you guys have a great day.
Don't feed the squirrels. Don't feed
Oh.
the squirrels.
Yeah,
No,
stay in
I
the
asked.
house.
I asked, and I was told no this morning. So
Okay. Very good.
Good
that's
deal.
very good. So,
If in doubt, call me and I will reiterate that. Okay.
I have no doubt you will. But like
Bye,
I said,
Kathy.
I'm going to pack them up and march them over to your house.
You
So.
can do that. I'll take care of them. Not a problem. I can
I
skin
know.
a squirrel in a heartbeat.
Weather
You're going
time.
to make stew out of them. I know.
Yes. Stewed rice and squirrels are good. Stewed squirrel and rice. It's like chicken and
Okay, now I
rice.
just got-
Yeah.
All right.
Just to check out the
Okay.
weather.
Well,
Bye now.
No,
you
I'm
stay out of
hungry.
trouble today and have a
You
great day, everybody.
Bye, girl.
All right. Bye.
Go ahead.
What a nice day today. Yesterday it was. Good God, it was
Yes.
a gorgeous day.
Wasn't it?
Today's
But
better.
pretty weather doesn't always go hand in hand with conditions in the ocean. A small craft advisory is in effect through Thursday morning. Oh my, through today for the next 24 hours. Small craft advisory. If you got a small boat, be advised. It's best not to do it. Offshore today, southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20, with gusts to 25 this afternoon. Seas 4 to 6 feet. They're 5 seconds apart. They're getting closer and closer and steeper, with 2 to 4 footers near shore. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, increasing to choppy in the afternoon. Thursday, to winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Rivers of moderate chop. Friday, southwesterly winds 15. Gusts to 25 knots in the afternoon on Friday. Seas 4 to 6, 3 to 5 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy. Folks, better ocean days are coming. Get your fishing gear ready while you're in a stand down
Too many
mode.
restrictions. I can't keep up. Can't keep up. I'm going to have to go out there with a book.
You don't go fishing anyway.
Well, it's because there's too many restrictions.
You don't have a fishing pole, do you?
You got to take
Do you have a fishing pole?
no, but I can go out and surf fish or pier fish
Not without a fishing pole.
or lake. Oh no, I have a fishing pole or fish in the lake that I used to fish in the pond.
Yeah, Elizabeth Lake. Go ahead.
Pond, I meant, not lake. But the thing about it is, you have to carry a measuring tool with you. You have to carry the book from the fisheries with you. You have to carry the current laws. It's just too much, Rayford.
Okay, play
Too
golf.
much. All right. Anyway, today.
Just don't beat the president.
Today, increasing clouds with a high near 74, southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour with gusts as high as 24. Tonight, cloudy with a low around 53. Thursday, a chance of rain in the morning, mostly cloudy with a high near 74. Hold on to yourself, Chris. Friday, a chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a high near 78.
Yay!
And the weekend, rain.
Warm rain.
And then, let me see. Friday, 78. Saturday, 65. Sunday, 61. And then we're going to have some cold days again next week before it warms back up. It's just Mother Nature's way of saying, hold my beer.
Out there in the area of Onslow County and over into Catchett County just a wee bit, Randy. 53 degrees, 99% humidity, no rain in the rain gauge. He had it was said the wind mostly calm, but it was generally overnight coming from the north where he is, partly cloudy. Lee in the back swamp area. I just love abbreviating back swamp here every time I put it down beside the same. Big ass. 51 degrees, 99% humidity. Nothing in his rain gauge, no wind, 29.88 inches of mercury in the weather in the barometric thingamabobber. Dale and Carol over there in River Bend, 52 degrees, 99% humidity, no rain. Winds were very light, southeasterly at 1 mile per hour. Joe down in the borough, known as Swansboro, 56 degrees, 98% humidity. Had 0.02 inches of some kind of precipitation in his rain gauge. Probably heavy dew, he thinks, but whatever it was. He had a southwesterly wind of 2 miles per hour. 29.90 inches of mercury. Cedar Point, Mr. Ward down that way, 50 degrees, 94% humidity, southwesterly wind, very light, he said,
Humidity.
nothing in the rain gauge, and 30.167 inches of mercury. And the Ken in Onslow Bay. Ken's back in town now.
Yes,
Welcome
he
back.
is.
And Onslow Bay off, what is that, racetrack road down here?
Rocky Death Road. Rocky Run Road. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
In Onslow Bay, Ken had 50 degrees, 96% humidity, nothing in his rain gauge either. In the Woodlands, Lee had 49 degrees at 5:15 this morning or something ridiculous, 99% humidity, nothing in the rain gauge, calm. She said it's dog days because I could hear her dogs barking in the background.
My little one was chasing the cat.
30.08 inches of mercury, and it's falling. Here in Country Club at the studio, it was 48 degrees at that time. It is now 54 degrees since sunrise. Sun's up, but we just can't see it. It's behind the clouds. It's jumped up from 48 to 54 degrees. Humidity is 99%. Nothing in the rain gauge still. Yep, no thing is condensed in the rain gauge. And the winds have been very calm. Overnight, they were southerly a little bit. We had up to 2 miles per hour winds overnight. That was about it. 29.94 inches of mercury. Up in Harvard, Massachusetts this morning at 5:45, it was 21 degrees, 29.94 inches in the of barometric pressure, and it was falling. They had a westerly wind of 2 miles per hour and no new precipitation. He did not measure how much was still on the ground.
So let me just go to finish my point on the hiring the new county manager or down the road new city manager, whenever.
No contracts more than 2 years.
Yeah, no contracts more than 2 years. But
Right.
think about hiring. I don't know why they have to have a government background. You have all these government heads, all these department heads.
Mhm.
We did that in the cable company. You did that in television. I'm sure, Lee, in the postal service, you had people that provided you information. You need a people person, somebody that can deal with the department heads and can still do the budget. It's not that hard to do.
Our past county managers have experience in governmental type business, and I think that's important because I have to sort of disagree with you, but
Okay.
I understand completely what you're saying because you have to know the ins and outs of government and how it works. And to hire someone who's been probably a bookkeeper for 4 years to come in that does not know how the government works, that is mabuhay. I understand completely what you're saying,
Mhm.
but I still think that person needs some experience working in the government.
I'm going to counter that after
Okay.
Mabuhay.
Very
I'm
good.
a boohai.
Mabuhay, good
Where did
morning.
that noise come from?
Listen, nice to meet you.
Hey,
Hey, Mabuhay.
Mabuhay.
So, I had a little something to say about this, and I do think that there's a little bit of something to be said about having somebody that understands government a little bit, but there definitely has to be a change. I mean, we can't go along to get along, can't be doing the same thing over and over again. And I also think that it's kind of strange to see that, there's the city manager or the county manager, and then the whole thing with Southwest, where the development, went to Southwest, got kicked down, and then they went around the county, went to the city to annex Southwest area to build some stuff that the community did not want, holding an event locally and then pretty much telling everybody that, they don't care what they say. And I think that our area needs change, but there needs to be change in the type of leadership that's actually leading us and actually caring and understanding what the community wants.
I agree. One of those things that you just mentioned, and I don't know this, when the gentleman went up and said, look, the county's already signed off on this. So you're going to either get on the train or you're not going to get on the train. It doesn't matter. This development's going to be built. Do we know that for a fact?
Yes.
We did.
Yes.
You know-
And I have my thoughts on all that, but I'll save it till after Dr.
Okay.
Rose calls and we can discuss that. And, because I see a lot of people saying we need all new commissioners, all new city
that's
council.
baloney.
And think about it doesn't matter who's sitting in that seat.
That's right. Now, and the folks in an area, I think that if I purchase a hunk of land that's for sale,
A hunk. Yes.
if I buy a piece of property and
Right.
I buy it as an investment,
Mhm.
I should be able to develop that land within whatever the parameters are. If it's not zoned for an industrial complex of some sort, then I won't be able to develop it to be used for that unless I can get the zoning changed. And if you've got a lot of people in the area, then those people have a pretty good say
Mhm.
as to whether that zoning, the government, the county or the city or whoever is in charge of that, they will listen to the people who will be talking about what is to be built there. But to build it as a housing development, it's going to be very difficult to change, to forbid a guy from being able to develop an area of land for a housing development.
Well, I mean, that's a key fact. But I mean, also, I mean, what determined that the city had more rights than the county? I mean, they're different governments. What makes them have the ability to be able to override the county government?
Override it in what way?
Well, I mean, the county, Onslow County, had already turned it down. They went to the board and said, "Sorry, this is not allowed. You're not going to change the infrastructure, and you're going to change the whatever. They're going to change a whole bunch of stuff." And then they went around and went to the city to annex the area to try to get around it. So, like, it's kind of like asking your kid, well, mom said no, so I asked sister, and sister said yes. Well, what gives sister the right to override mom here?
Dr.
Like,
Rose.
the county and the city, just because, the city, they seem like, well, that's the city of, North Carolina. What gives them the right to override a valid government?
We're gonna take this. We'll pick up this conversation as soon as we wrap up here in just a couple of minutes. But
Yep.
I'll have some thoughts, and I can try to explain some of it too. So hang in there if you will,
Yeah.
and or
Yeah.
give us a call back after Dr. Rose. How's that?
Love you to
All
call
right.
back.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Boo. Hey.
Yeah, the government, city versus government versus state versus U.S.
Mhm.
There are
it's
some,
always something.
some
Right.
really complex issues that all of them have to deal with, and there are legal, not loopholes, but there are legal ways to do business, and if you that's what people do. Dr. Rose, measles, and more measles. I'm hearing that I see. What is it? A Catholic
Measles
Catholic
conversation.
college in Florida had 40 cases.
Well, I did not hear that. That is a lot of cases.
Yes, it is in one school. I mean, they just went through it. I'm trying to find out because I read it again this morning, and now I've lost it. It's somewhere in my pile of
They might
stuff.
be helped out today. It's Ash Wednesday.
Okay.
Is that-
Do you wash that off?
no, you do not wash it off.
You wear it always?
You wear it. And it comes
Sorry,
off.
Dr.
But when you take a
Rose.
shower.
Good morning, Dr.
Good
Rose.
morning, Dr. Rose.
Good morning, everybody.
Dr. Rose, my wife Kathy was going to tell Rayford a joke, but I had to ask if I could save it for you to start the day off on a.
There we go.
This is wonderful.
Okay.
I love it.
Because you're such a sweet and wonderful doctor. Why are some pediatricians, physicians agitated?
I don't know. Why are some pediatric physicians agitated?
They have little patience.
Oh, I love it. I had actually heard that before, and I like
Yeah,
it. I
me
really
too.
do.
Now, that one I like.
But it was good, Chris.
Okay. Well, it was Kathy's. I mean, I'll have to give credit. It was Kathy.
Kathy, it's okay.
Good job, Kathy.
I
Good
got
job.
your back, Kathy.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah.
I'll be giggling all day.
That's all right. Not a problem. Okay. Now we hear all about keep reading, and it was on major story overnight, last night or yesterday, and I had a meeting last night, so I misplaced it. But anyway, they've got a whole list of states that have got it. North Carolina is in the low area. We don't have that many compared to a lot of the other places, but there are cases here. And, if it's in another state and people do travel around a lot, so they could,
Florida during spring break.
yeah.
Oh,
That's a difficult one, and going into planes and cruises. I mean, and and more cases may be in during this time of year. People visit the U.S. For Easter, for spring break. A lot of them might have no or little immunity if they've not been vaccinated. Might be bringing in some more cases. It's quite disturbing. I think that I would, if I were the CDC and the National Institute of Health, I would put a halt to a lot of the things that I'm doing, and I would investigate why it is. And if you can prove conclusively that it's based on having too few people have the vaccine, and so it's penetrating into the population, then I would do a huge sort of advertisement, public health announcement about the importance. I would go more into those families that aren't taking the vaccine and saying, we urge you for your child that this is very important to try to increase our vaccination rate, and hopefully the immunity that we have within the population. But I think it's time to sort of figure out, okay, where is this coming from? Is it just because there's a different strain that's out there, or is it because we definitely have a lack of population that is vaccinated, so it is increasing because of that we've lost our herd immunity?
You know, it went back in my day, which was yesteryear, ancient history,
Hello?
but everybody got the
Come
measles.
on the line.
Are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, I think she lost us.
I think she's calling back. Dr. Rose?
Wait a minute.
There's a line ringing. Ooh,
That's Dr. Rose, yes.
All right, we'll try this.
yeah. Dr. Rose?
Are you there?
There we are. There's that laugh. There's that
I'm
giggle.
back.
Okay.
I was talking to myself, and I didn't even realize it until I paused, and I'm like, uh-oh, wait a minute.
No, well, we could hear you. We
Yeah,
could
we
hear
could
you
hear
and just fine. But I don't know what was going on. Who knows? It's an electronic device, and they're named Fred, and I'll explain that to this group when
No.
what Fred means.
We know. We know.
Dr. Rose, I have a not necessarily odd question, but one that has to do with vitamins. Do you recommend children taking over the counter, those chewable tablets? They taste like candy, I guess, but they're supposed to be loaded with vitamins. Is that a good idea for children?
Just a multivitamin?
Yeah, just a multivitamin like Fred Flintstone.
Yeah, absolutely. Because children are quite picky, and so there are days that they don't get enough of sufficient one type of vitamin versus the other. Now, those kinds of vitamins, they don't give you much extra. What they do is they will give you what your body should be losing, and a little bit to substitute for that. In other words, just enough to substitute for what you might have lost. So there's not going to be any harm in giving a child a multivitamin every day. And if it's a multivitamin with iron, I think it's even better. They're a little worse tasting because the taste of the iron is a little harsh. But I definitely do. If a child is not eating well at all, you might even want to do one in the morning and one at night. That's the most that I would do. One in the morning and one at night. If your child's not eating well, it will not increase his appetite. It's just going to replenish what your child is losing and give him a little bit extra. But those vitamins are very, very important for child's growth and development and brain just brain use and being nice and strong and smart.
Excuse me.
Okay, so over the counter is okay. I mean, is there anything that we should be on the lookout for when we decided to do over the counter vitamins? I mean, because every drugstore and everybody else has got them. The grocery store has got vitamins over the counter. I don't know where to go. Should I look for a specialty shop, or because you got these health food stores that have vitamins at the
Yeah.
yin yang?
If you
Mercy.
trust your vitamin shop or if somebody has a little hometown pharmacy, I think that it's a really good idea because they have little insight into a specific brand that might be very helpful. But I tell the parents, go and take a look in the shelves to make sure that you get the closest to 100% of all the nutrients. And so 100% is what you need on a daily basis. If your vitamin is close to 100% of what you need, or even 50%, because you can get the rest of your vitamins from your daily diet, then you have a good vitamin. If they're giving you like 5 to 10%, but then 100% of one thing, that's not a good multivitamin for yourself or for your child. And then the other thing is, look at what else do you have in there. Is it stuff that's artificial? Is it a lot of sugar? So that you know what you're feeding your kids. Like Flintstone's multivitamins, it's definitely better than no vitamins at all. It does come in a lot of sugar. So when your children are eating it, the sugar will tend to stick to their teeth, and we all know what that can cause. So you really want to study it a little bit. I personally, not to put a plug in for her, I don't know who she is, but there's a brand name called Mary Ruth. She makes very nice natural vitamins that very low in sugar. Everything is from actual fruits and foods. And I like her vitamin line, and I use them for myself, and I recommend them in the clinic.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Rose. I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you
you're
very
welcome.
much.
Is there a situation where, I see folks out there, and there used to be a guy that would show up the same places every year for vacation. It just happened to be we all picked the same place to go every year and the same time. And he had a regimen of vitamins that he had to prepare every day. And we're talking about more than a double handful of vitamins that he was taking every day. Vitamins for this, vitamins to counteract those vitamins because they did too much for me. Can we really screw up our system with too many vitamins?
You can cause, too much vitamin C. I think we've talked about this, can cause kidney stones. Too much vitamin D can affect your digestive system. So can too much vitamin A, and that can cause harm in your brain. You can overdo it with some of these vitamins. And remember, they also have minerals, and that's too much calcium can be a problem. You can definitely cause some health issues by doing too much of any good thing. But particularly vitamins are not something that without counting up how many milligrams or micrograms of each one I'd be taking, I would be very cautious about doing handfuls of vitamins, because you're probably you're duplicating some of the vitamins and the minerals and the supplements, so that you might cause some harm. So, and the other thing I failed to say, when a multivitamin tastes really good, like those nice chewy little ones, please, as parents, put them away from the children, because they think it's candy, and they don't mean to be mean.
Good point.
But they will climb on things to just try to get them because they taste nice. So if they taste nice and your kid takes them, make sure that you put them somewhere that's very safe, that your children won't get to them, so that they don't have the problem of maybe overdosing on vitamins. If your child overdoses on anything, you need to call poison control. Even if it's something as benign as vitamins and it's only 4 or 5 of them, please call poison control. You can just Google the number poison control, and you'll have a nice person come to the line and tell you how dangerous it is that your child took too many of one substance.
Sort of reminds me of going to the Department of Agriculture to get some little test boxes to test the soil in my area, instead of me just deciding how much fertilizer or non-fertilizer or this or that to put in the garden. Because I can put too much stuff in there that's not good, or that would counteract some of the good stuff that's there. I'm just going to count on my blood test when I go to see my doctor and let her tell me what I need.
Don't
I
even
think
go
for the
there.
most part, there's certain tests that vitamins won't be in the blood test that you do.
Uh-huh.
So we're just relying on that you're eating well, and we can tell from your blood whether you're not getting sufficient vitamin B,
Right.
iron. So some of the things we can tell, but as long as you're sticking to a healthy diet, rich in veggies and fruits and good amount of healthy fats like eggs and meats, you should be doing okay. But a multivitamin can sort of fill up the little gaps that you may have in your diet.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that sounds good. I kind of count on my doc to keep me up to speed on stuff like that and looking at the blood work. And I guess you guys look at changes from one time to the next quarter when I go, right? And getting blood done.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, that is true. From time to time, from one time to the other, we can analyze what's going on in your body with your blood. But also in children, pediatricians can tell because of the way that the children are growing and developing.
Mm-hmm.
If there's something missing, it will eventually show up in the way that they develop and the way that they grow. So that's why we like those routine checkups in children, and we don't do our job quite as well when the parents don't bring them in routinely for the checkups, because the gaps in time and the way that they grow and that they develop will tell us a lot about their nutrition, but also about how they're doing in many aspects of their health.
That's wonderful.
Okay.
Good
Good news, Doc. I do appreciate that.
Thank you,
As
Dr.
always,
Rose.
Dr. Rose, you're the best.
You're very welcome. So when is the Punta Cana trip?
Um,
Somewhere in the Caribbean.
It's coming. Actually, I looked online the other day and looking for a place to retire, and Dominican Republic was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Down the road,
Dominican Republic.
down the road, but very affordable, and I love it down there.
Mhm.
Just the nicest people in the world.
Do you have to talk
They
like
are
y'all,
very-
man?
They're very sweet,
Yeah.
especially when they're not in the city. Don't retire in the city.
Oh, man.
But everywhere else, you just count on me. You ask me, how about this place or how about that place?
Oh, I plan on it.
Yeah, and $1 can go a very long way.
Yes.
And it's very healthy and secure now. It's this new regime, the new president and his administration have done a very good job in making it safe and making it healthy. So a lot of foreigners are going.
I will keep you up to date.
So you're telling me that the Dominican Republic, the DR, has got a really good border patrol between the DR and Haiti. Is that what you're telling me?
I think they should have hired those guys for here.
I'm right there with
There
you,
you
Dr.
go.
Rose.
Maybe we need to send our guys there to train.
I'm right there with you, Dr. Rose.
Great.
They'll have too
Okay.
much fun on the beach.
Dr. Rose, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you as always.
Thank you, Dr.
All right,
Rose.
you guys have a great week.
You too. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Before we jump on to anything else, I've got people message me that would like for us to make a few announcements for them. Marcus Covey, you know who that is.
Mhm.
Alan
Marcus?
Covey's son. Yes,
Okay.
and he appeared on the show last year. But Lion and Lamb Production Company has a new show coming up on March 13th, 14th, 20th, and 21st. It's called A Plan for Redemption. I need to go. Tickets are available through the link on their Lion and Lamb Production Company Facebook page. Remember, he was in here last year about the production they were doing then,
Mhm.
and it went over well. And then I got another message, KW Innovate, which is Keller Williams, grand reopening this morning, 10 to 12, 445 Western Boulevard, Suites 1 and 2, 10 to 12, and understand there may be mimosas. So if you'd like to
I
go
got
by
some of those, I think, on a tree out there, don't I?
and celebrate with KW Innovate, the Jacksonville Chamber of Commerce will be there, for their reopening. So, yeah,
Right.
there you go.
First, thanks, Whitney, for the term. QuickBooks is one of the.
That's the one I
Yeah, I was
QuickBooks.
thinking Peachtree. Remember when Peachtree came out? That was the big popular one back in
only
the
in
70s
Georgia.
and 80s. No, Peachtree was a big thing, and that's the one I was. Quicken Books came after.
and Mubahai, you can call back in. But so Lee, you were going to tell me your opinion on hiring a manager for a county or a city.
A county manager a county manager does more than just budget.
Mhm.
A county manager kind of helps to govern the county. And he does work for the county commissioners, but I just really do believe that they need to have some type of governmental background with them when they go into, take over as a county manager.
Okay. So here's where if I can counter that just for the county commissioners are who the county manager answers to, correct?
That's correct. They work for the commissioners.
And I love our board right now. I've loved some past ones and hopefully some current ones coming up. How much government experience did they have when they ran for county commissioner in government? How much government experience did they have?
That's why you have a county manager to guide them.
But the county commissioners make the final. So they hire the county manager.
Right.
But they have no experience to know what that county manager actually has experience in.
Most of them do. That's like when they hired Smitherman. You had sitting county commissioners that had been on the board for years.
Mm-hmm.
They had worked with previous county managers.
They were experienced. Contract and you want to discuss that again?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I've got my own thoughts about that, but the thing about it is, it's just like, say, the post office. If we're going to hire a postmaster general, I don't want some guy just off the street that has no experience in government. Post office is a government agency. We need somebody to come in there, not only a businessman, but is familiar with the post office affairs.
So Donald Trump, no government experience.
No, he did not.
It cost him a lot of the first 2 years on the first go round.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Nothing was accomplished, even though he had the Senate and the House. Nothing was accomplished because he did not know how to deal with the Democrats who were after him during that time. The first 2 years were spent in doing nothing but fighting off insurrection, not insurrection, but impeachment, right. This, impeachment, that. Then there was all sorts of so much negativity. I don't care if God had been in charge of the country at that point in time as the president.
Mm-hmm.
The wrath of the Democrats would probably have overpowered him. Now, it could have been exactly the opposite if there'd been a Democrat in office there and the Republicans went after him. It doesn't matter who it is. The opposing party is going to go after them to diminish their abilities, to lessen their authority, especially if they have the House and the Senate and the White House. All of the Democrats are going to be against them. The Republicans would be against them if it was all Democrats.
Right.
And we've seen that as well. The Democrats seem to be a little bit more vicious, to be honest with you. But since I'm neither of the above, I can say that.
I think
we're all taken on a local level.
We're on local level. We've all taken government courses in our college careers. We didn't go on to become a government county manager.
No, but don't you think by taking those government courses that gave you a little bit of knowledge if you were to go into a position like that?
Yes, but I didn't know when I entered.
Attention.
After 10 years, after 10 years in radio, I went into the cable industry and I learned it from the bottom up to become and then do budgets.
Did you climb poles and put power? Okay,
yes, I did.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
You still got your spikes?
Yes, I do. I actually, my first day as a marketing manager was spent in Leland, North Carolina, pulling a 75-pound lashing wire machine. That wraps
So you feel like if you were hired as the county manager that you could walk in there tomorrow and feel confident that you could do the job?
I would meet with, I do.
And so when it came to governmental affairs and you had questions, what would you do?
Seek the guidance of my department heads. That's what you do.
I don't think that would work in the county. But
Why?
I understand what you're saying, but
Why?
I just don't think that would work.
The county, if I'm mistaken,
Are your county heads, or are they schooled in government affairs? Have they taken courses? Have they graduated with,
well, let's see who's running DSS. Let's see who's running the health department.
Well, yeah, they have a degree in health and human services, not in governmental affairs.
The sheriff sends in a budget every year.
Yes, he does.
And he answers to?
He answers to the county.
He answers to no one, actually.
Well, no, he is the highest. He is the highest elected official.
He's
The only thing he counts on is for them, and the county is just like the school system. The county is required.
Mabuhay is calling back.
The county is required to provide the finances for them.
I just really think it's to everyone's advantage in the county if you have somebody that is schooled in governmental policies and do's and don'ts.
All right, Mabuhay, we're back.
Mabuhay, good morning again.
Good morning. So I get you on the, the experience. I think general knowledge is better because if they have a general idea, then they can affect change. Because it's not that somebody needs to go in and have a PhD in Onslow County or city governance and rules and laws. I think they need to have someone with common sense go in there and say, hey, we have too many rules, too many laws that's preventing growth and preventing, all this other stuff from happening for allowing Onslow County, Jacksonville, and even North Carolina to grow and develop into, the better part of something else instead of, the residents paying for all the taxes and paying for all the other stuff. But when you, succeed to, investors or whatever, there should be somebody on top of them. We know, that these boards are not going to their city manager and asking for advice. It's like asking your 4-year-old for advice. They're not doing it. They feel like they're above everything, which is why they, don't even think that they, have any kind of say or listen to the residents themselves. I mean, they just came in and said, hey, you know what? We're going to affect everybody, but you guys are not even part of the city, so we don't care what you say. Like, those types of things matter. Our community matters. It always has. If we were going to stay the same way and keep doing the same reciprocal circle we've been doing for the last 70 years here in Onslow County, then we should definitely have a say. But now it's going the opposite direction, but without a say from the community. If we're going to grow and develop, we need people who are going to listen to our community, but also push us in a direction of change. They need to have experience and understanding what the government currently does to, lack of a better words, do it better, to undo the terrible decisions and choices that have stronghold Onslow County from growing and being a safe and good community and environment. The schools, the roads, the infrastructure, the sewage systems, the businesses, things like that. But when they, close down subsidized housing, want to, push that into these, that's what these developments are for, and push them into another area. That's great. Yes, the landowner, the person's investing and selling the property, but then no one's sitting there looking like, who are these interested parties? Do they have a conflict of interest? Do they know or have, investments? There's nobody checking. And when somebody just says, hey, you're going to do what I said because I said, and they're trying to follow the steps, there's someone needs to be looking going, sounds a little suspect that, that they're doing it this way, or why. You know what I mean? There needs to be someone over the commissioners. Single interested government party, like, just like in our government, we have military leadership and then we have civilian elected leadership. I think, we should, put in something like that where the county commissioners are those, quote unquote military leaders. And then we have someone come in and goes, no, I don't think, what all three of you said makes sense.
Yes.
The issues that I have is if I decide I want to invest in a hunk of property somewhere and it's totally legal for me to develop that land for whatever purpose. I don't care whether it's for farming or whether it's for an industrial complex, as long as it meets the zoning requirements that are there at that time. Now, there are so many times that you will see zoning requests for zoning changes for a piece of property that's smack dab in the middle of a housing area or on the edge of it to build a convenience store. And the people around there are all notified. I've been part of that before where I lived, but they're notified about these proposed changes to allow the construction of. And the people do have a say in the zoning changes. They make their voices known, and it goes before a zoning board. If the zoning board says it's okay, then the people can still appeal and go to the county commissioners. The county commissioners will make that decision whether it is or not okay. Now, if somebody buys this piece of property, though, and there's some kind of a nuisance type of business that's decided they want to put on there, like a vape shop or an airport,
Right.
or a gun range, or whatever, something that is not zoned for or they can't do, then yeah, the people can jump up and down and scream and holler, and they will be heard, and they can actually end up in court if they want to take it that far, and then they will find the ultimate. But as far as telling me how to, I've decided to invest in a piece of property,
right?
Yeah, it's
when
personal
someone buys
property
a property,
rights. Yeah.
Yeah, when somebody buys a property, they know this is zoned for this, X, Y, and Z.
Correct.
They know.
Yep.
And they have the right to petition the government to rezone. However, that petition was denied. Onslow County denied that petition.
Okay, now let's back up, because you're going to have to educate me here. Let's just say, okay, it's in the county. It has not been zoned. It has not been annexed. Was it zoned for residential construction?
No, it was for what is it? R12. It was agricultural, just like regular county, county residential property, single family homes. But what I'm concerned with is not necessarily that they went through the process and that they tried to, exercise those rights. They got turned down.
Why were they turned? Well, let's back up. Why were they turned down?
Because they were turned down because the road infrastructure. They didn't want it. They wanted all the benefits and then push all the responsibility onto the county. Like, they didn't want to improve the roads. They didn't want to improve the sewage systems, things like that. And then the infrastructure itself, because it's costly. So the county says, nope, sorry, we're not going to do that. But then the city, so they tried to go around it and go to a whole other government, Jacksonville City, not the county.
Yep.
And they have their own board. They went to them to basically annex this area and pull it into the city so they can get their way.
Here's the reason that an Onslow County, or any county in North Carolina, I think all of them, none of them have a Department of Roads or anything. And the county roads, either the subdivision, the private owners, or whatever. If a developer wants to develop a piece of property, now we're looking at this in another community right now, Holly Ridge. If a developer wants to develop a piece of property and the developer would like to have it in the city, because the cities are required to maintain roads, they provide roads, and they are required to maintain the roads. The county, and Onslow County, has decided some time ago, because they got so many complaints about developers would move in, sell all this property, build all these homes, and then they went out of business, or they reformed under another name.
Yep.
And therefore they were no longer responsible for those roads, maintaining those roads. Then they turned them over wanted to turn them over to the county. Well, the county doesn't take them. So what they have to do then is, hopefully, the Department of Transportation will take them, because in the county, the DOT maintains the roads. Now, the DOT will not take over roads that do not conform to DOT standards. And a developer that does not build those roads according to DOT standards, then the homeowners are left holding the bag. And the county has received so many complaints of developers. I do not know if that's why they just blatantly 100% do not approve any area that the developers are not building roads that conform to the DOT's minimum standards.
Okay.
I don't know. I know that was an
DOT
issue.
already said they didn't have the budget for the year, and top it off, the roads out in Southwest are only enough to for a Honda Civic to drive down 2 lanes, and they want to put a whole.
I'm not talking about the roads that are there. I'm talking about the roads inside a subdivision.
Oh, gotcha.
Those are where the developers are going to develop. The developers do not develop the highways. The highways are owned by the state of North Carolina, maintained by the state of North Carolina, unless they're inside of city limits and they're not state roads. But in a case like that, then Department of Transportation, let's tell you about their timeline. You can petition. The county does it. The counties all over North Carolina are regularly requesting DOT action on roads. You know what the timeline is to get something done, to get a traffic light put up? Sometimes years. To get a 4-lane highway built, decades.
Well, I want to run a parallel of this. Gum Branch Road, there was somebody that wanted to develop property out on Gum Branch Road, Gum Branch and Rhodestown Road. And it got turned down by
Rock Creek.
Near the Rock Creek area. And it got turned down by the county commissioners. It was approved by the planning board. The county commissioners denied it. Why? Traffic. It's a 2-lane road. And I think the people last night at City Hall, those that were against it, said it's a 2-lane road.
Yep.
How long is it going to take fire and rescue to get to somewhere, an ambulance to get somewhere, a police to get there?
But it's very close to a major highway, and the area that they're talking about is right near Pony Farm in Blue Creek. It's in the 1400 block. So it's kind of different than what we're talking about on Rhodestown and Gum Branch.
Well, no, it's still
There's
2
about
lanes.
2 lanes. But Blue Creek Road but it's near a major highway, and it's not that far off the major.
You go through a little tiny 1/4-inch pipeline when you got a 2-inch pipe on either
Look,
end.
guys, there are
You're
2-lane
blocked.
roads all over this
I
county,
understand that.
and the fire department and EMS still service them. So
Yeah,
I
but
don't
most
really
of those fire
think,
departments and EMS are volunteers because they still don't have the infrastructure.
but they are right now, from my understanding, is they're in negotiations with the city to help provide the fire and rescue services for that area. I mean, it's not even built yet.
Yeah. Well, and DOT will not build a highway, will
No,
not
they won't.
improve a road until there is a need, not a desire for a need, until there is an absolute need. We go to Wilmington, but we know about Mayfair, we know about military
God,
cutoff. I
yes.
was living there.
Remember
a
2
nightmare.
lanes?
Yeah.
Mhm.
2 lanes, no traffic lights. And when suddenly they had a town built out there, basically.
That's right.
And the DOT is still working on that road.
Yes,
Way
they
to go,
are.
baby. So, and that's been decades, couple of decades.
Back to the annexing thing. You know, the whole ability for the city to annex anything in the county.
No,
I mean, I'm just gonna
no.
say, you know,
They
I'm gonna
cannot
go ahead and annex all of Eastern North Carolina.
they cannot annex anything anymore. No cities can. It's against the law, against state law. It's no forced annexation. Cities used to do that. They take it over because they saw it as a tax base. They cannot do that anymore. The owners.
That's exactly what they just voted to propose last night.
No, they can't do it. The city.
It was
Can
not a
be-
forced annexation.
Let me finish. The
Mhm.
city can be requested by the owners of the property. The owners of the property, in this case, have requested the city to take them in, to annex that piece of property. It'll make that piece of property, the lots sell for higher prices, of course. Obviously, it will, because the thing is annexed, it's got city services, it's got this, it's got that, and that will be a selling point. That would be an obvious way to do it in their mind. Personally, I'm against satellite annexation. That means you have to leave the city to go across county lines to get into another city or to get back into your city. I'm against that, by and large, because what happens then is they start annexing everything in between. The people see a need and say, well, we need to be annexed too. And then they will grudgingly request to be annexed at some point in time. Wait and see.
So let me see if I get this straight on at least what I heard and I listened to last night. The city was looking for voluntary annexation. Is that right, Lee?
Was the city looking for it, or were the people?
The developers were
looking
asking for voluntary
Okay.
annexation.
And so the people that showed up last night, the citizens of that area, voluntarily said no.
But they don't live there.
No, they
Right.
do live there.
They do not live in that protected.
Well, there's nothing there but land right now.
I know,
They
but
do not live on the
There's
property.
nobody that
was
lives on that
voted on.
property.
But their
So they have no say.
concern was mainly
Exactly.
traffic in the area.
So the two people
It's also what
developing.
they're building. The initial development, yes, brings in investment and money, but it's what happens after the developers leave. It's all going to be subsidized housing. So then people are concerned with taxes, whatever else that they're concerned with. But that's what the major concern was. Is okay, they're going to bring in mansions, but okay, what are you putting in those mansions? And everybody says, well, downtown's crime rate has gotten better, or it's great, or whatever. And it's only been great since those properties were condemned. So my question is, what exactly are they pushing? You know, you can call it, a turd a flower, but it's still a turd.
I'm not sure what's supposed to be going in there. All I know is that somebody's wants to develop the property for housing.
They threw in a couple development. They said commercial development, but the multifamily housing, the zoning, and the whole development is all what they call Section 8 or subsidized housing. So basically, they're trying to take that entire condemned development that was downtown, and they're redeveloping up here with all the money, the government subsidies, all that other stuff to develop, and then leave, and then the county and or the city, is left with the infrastructure, which is why Conzo County turned it down, and which is why they went to the city.
Okay.
I have no clue about it.
I don't know what they're planning to put in there. I just know that it's been, they want to put housing in. I haven't heard anything about Section 8 housing.
Someone asked, how many doors are you putting in there? Doors meaning you open that door, there's a family living in there. How many doors? And I heard a number of 494.
494 single family homes and 34 commercial buildings.
Okay.
Single family homes.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Which averaged the value of around $357,000.
And I'll give fact, because it is a fact that the two developers that own the land, that piece of property right now, nobody lives on it. So nobody has a say in it, right? Nobody.
Except
so why are they putting signs out there asking for voluntary annexation when there's nothing there?
They're required by law to notify the people who live in that area.
But then when they come out and they say we're against it, they do it anyway. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. It doesn't happen
on every property. I've seen the county turn down plenty.
Well, the county turned it down, but he's talking about the city.
Yeah, and I've seen, and the city, I don't know, we've not really had this issue.
Not in a long time.
Not in a long time. I do remember a North Carolina representative who went and took a business that was here in Piney Green in the county and had its satellite annexed into the city. Mm-hmm. So things like this happen. Mm-hmm. I didn't agree with that then, I'm just like.
Don't you have a local government official coming in on the show next week or this week? Maybe we can ask that question.
We probably will have one.
Yeah, I'm going to get up with Tidewater Associates and try to get some answers to some questions, because I feel like some of this information that's coming out on this is probably skewed a little bit, and see if I can get a city council representative to come in also.
Well, I mean,
I know just the right one.
I understand what Mr. Brown said when he said we can't go to whatever direction because Camp Lejeune's there.
Right.
We can't go to this area so the only area we can take is prime area, and that is the southwest area. That was said. It's on tape.
Let me tell you what.
For development?
For development.
Okay.
Did we not have a discussion with our county not long ago that by the year 2040, we're going to grow to like a population of 280,000, but we have no place for people to live. This county is busting at the seams.
Yeah.
There's going to be developments everywhere.
There already are.
Yeah. I mean, have you driven down some of these back roads lately and looked at some of the going to Cape Carteret, and you go through Hubert? Are you surprised at some of the stuff there?
That's
the
because
developments on the right and left?
That's because it's in the county and they only have to pay county taxes.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the building. Go down 258, head towards Richlands. It's unreal, the subdivisions that have popped up. Mm-hmm. It's all over the county. Mm-hmm. And no matter where a developer is going to build, there's going to be people who have lived here all their lives. They lived in a country area. They haven't had to worry about, wall-to-wall houses. But guess what? Everything's changing. I wouldn't like it either.
Well, our population is, we have a lot of very young people that are moving in and moving out, and they would like to buy a home here.
Yes.
And generally, quite often, that's going to be in a multifamily place, like a condo project or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's not Section 8 housing. But they will buy a house or a town. That will be their starter home, if nothing else. They want something comfortable, something they don't have to maintain a lawn, because they just don't want that kind of living.
Right.
I can appreciate that. I would hate it, but I can appreciate their desires because they're going to be here 3 years and then they're going to sell and move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
And
a very,
they'd rather pay it and get money back for
Right.
something than to have to pay rent the whole time.
it's Tim Thomas calling.
All right. Well,
But
Thanks,
you
Ms.
bring
Bahai.
up
it's an
great
issue to
points.
buy, and
Great
you know,
points.
there's a no win and there's a win. You know, some win, some
Yeah.
lose.
I agree. It's-
Exactly.
But
All
I-
right, y'all.
I
Have a great
still-
morning.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you, my
Ms.
Bahai.
Bahai.
I still am a believer of the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few.
Well, okay. Who are your many and who are your few?
The people that live there are the many,
And the few meaning what? The 300
the
and
developers.
494 people that will eventually have houses.
Let me
out
tell you
there?
something right now. This is a true story.
Mhm.
When we used to have, this goes back to budgets in for the cable industry. How many subs are you going to get us this year? How many new subs are you going to get? And here's the number we gave them. They come back and go, wait a minute, you're getting all these homes that are being built in your area. Why aren't you getting those customers? The simple fact is the customers that you have are going from this home that they're currently living in into this new development. And that home now becomes vacant. You didn't add anybody.
But it's weird.
Yeah,
If
they're
our
home.
population is
But if
going to
the
grow
population's
40,
increasing.
50,000 in the next
If-
10 years, what are you
if-
going to do?
If
Biggest word in the dictionary.
Just hope to heaven that the base
Hey.
never leaves us.
Oh,
We'll be a
God.
ghost town.
God, that'd be some great property to own, wouldn't it? Hey, Tim, how are you?
Oh, we're doing
I
good.
want-
Y'all talking about all that property.
I want the
coming at
rifle
you.
range.
Oh, you could order to be able to get you one.
No, I'm talking about if Camp Lejeune folds, I want that piece of property. It's got a range. I
Well,
can
let's
make a
not even
portrait.
talk about
The
Camp
rifle and the
Lejeune.
big one.
Oh,
The-
man, you got indoor ranges, outdoor ranges. You got a potload of ranges.
I could blow stuff up.
Oh, man, blow stuff. You go, oh, yeah. But I don't see that ever happening. I mean, maybe one day. But I just don't see that happen. But the bad thing about Onslow County is these all this farmland turning into development,
It's unreal.
So it's the,
and it's because the older folks have died out, and the younger guys folks they left to pursue a career, and they don't want nothing to do with it. And I've seen people buying land for $20,000 an acre.
Mm.
And now developers don't want to do that, and they won't do that. But you know, you got two types of properties. You got farmland property price, and you got development property price, and that's where the stipulation comes in. But I mean, I have them aggravate me all the time. But I tell them, I said, the guy that just bought the property beside me paid almost 10 acres. He paid $214,000. That's all woods. I said, buddy, I can retire anytime I want to. Now all I had to do is put it for sale. But I don't want to sell it. But I get letters all the time.
Yep. I got people trying to buy this house all the time.
You know, I got a text yesterday.
Want me? We want to give you a VA loan
Yeah.
on Long Mile Road, but I'm not on Long Mile Road.
No, well, I do a lot better when they call me or when they send me. So yes, ma'am, it's for sale. Send me $5 million and I'll give me 30 days and I'll be out. $10 million and I'll be out tonight. But in cash,
Well,
in cash,
I have told
U.S. dollars.
But now the one I told, he got so mad at me. He sat there and cussed and raised all kind of cane. But you know, but he come up to me. Hey, you on that horse farm over there? Yes, I do. He said, you won't sell it? Yeah, you know, everybody's got a price. Well, just you know, what would you take? I said $50,000 an acre, and he went to cuss. I said, wait a minute. You're gonna put 3 houses on an acre, you're gonna charge $60,000 to $80,000 to $100,000 a lot. I said, so, you know, if you sell it, you buy it from me for $50,000 an acre, you put 3 houses on an acre, you just don't, you know, you're going to pay me for a third of an acre, you're going to get, you know, you're going to get $100,000 back. And I said, mine's cleared. Oh, God, he got hot. and, you know, years later, I'm looking, well, the guy just bought a piece of property from me, and I don't think it'd hurt been in 2 places.
Yeah.
Paid about $214,000. He said he wanted a forever home. He was going to be a one home, one shop. But he said, I know it was too much money, but land's not going down. I said, you're right. So that, you know, your farmland is diminishing in Onslow County. We still got a lot, but by 2040 we won't.
Yeah. The other thing about pieces of property such as this development or any development, if you're building multifamily residence on it, you've got a unit that has 5 families, 6 families in it instead of one on a single family lot house size lot, right?
Yep.
But you got 5 families living in a multi-family dwelling there. You're going to have septic tank if you don't live in the city, or you're going to have to provide water and sewer, because you're not going to get a piece of property that's going to handle on its own piece of land, one single lot, a third or a half of an acre even.
Well,
You're not going to be able to put a big enough septic system there to handle 5 or 6 families.
No, and I'll give you a good example.
If it
you take
perks.
River Bluff, when it was built, the upper part of River Bluff, at the end of the land, the drain field, there's an 1.25 inch pipe that leaves that drain field, and I can show you it all comes together at one behind one person's house that goes all the way to the other end of that farm, and there's a cesspool down there. And every one of them had that piece of pipe, and I blew my mind. But yeah, that's the way they had to do it, and they did it. And I've still seen drain fields blow out because one family up there, he had 11 people in a 3-bedroom house.
Oh boy.
And the drain field blew out. And he said, I just can't understand it. I said, well, you look at this. You got 11 people in the house. They flush the commode twice a day. That's 22 flushes. That don't matter.
5 gallons
you got
each.
11 baths. Yeah, you got 11 baths. I said, you got clothes washing every day. It can't handle it. I said, it cannot handle it. So, they had to redo the drain field. But yeah, hey, buddy, you pay to play. But it's just, in Onslow County, the farmland is diminishing. I see it. I've seen it for years and years.
It is. Well,
when they cut the tobacco program out years ago, and the government paid everybody for their poundage, that put the land up for sale. Because I remember Mr. Deganis right there on Gun Branch Road. He sold his little farm right there, and they paid him $3,000 an acre, and that was unheard of.
if you're going to be if you're going to be a farmer today, to make enough money at it, you're going to have a big enough piece of land to do that. Tobacco, you could do that. They made a killing off tobacco because, 2 or 3 or 4, 6 acres of tobacco, you made a lot of money off of that.
Yeah.
You made a lot of money as a family, as a family unit. But for 6 acres of land, how much corn can you to really get a big return on your investment? It takes a lot of land. It takes a lot of land to grow corn on. Beans, same thing. So, you've got to be a really smart farmer to be able to grow it on small pieces of land. So what else are you going to do with this piece of family property that was a family farm that provided food for the family? They didn't sell stuff except tobacco. The rest of it, they ate. They used it for their own processes, right? So what are you going to do with that piece of property that you've inherited from your parents or grandparents over the decades ago? You're going to sell it to somebody that you can make some money off of because it don't do you one bit of good.
Right? Leasing, you can lease it to a farmer, and he'll give you iPhone leases to go up to maximum of $225 an acre for 1 year.
That's $1,500. Go ahead.
Right. There you go.
That won't pay the taxes on that piece of property. Think about it.
Just could pay the taxes on it.
All right. So, duh.
And that still wasn't worth it. So I agree. It's just going to be, I'm sitting back one day if the price is right and I get tired of messing with the horse. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
How much you want to give me for it?
Not enough.
And they're going to put a subdivision in there.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
They're going to call it Timmy Acres.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Jimmy Akers.
Yes, sir. Y'all be good. I just want to weigh in on that.
Thank you, sir.
Enjoy yourself.
Bye.
Bye, Tim.
After weather, I have a question.
Sure.
The answer is 7, but it better be the right
Yeah.
question for it to be the right answer. It was pretty yesterday, but it can be really pretty out here. But when you get out there in that boat and you hit the ocean,
Let's go.
rock and roll
Let's
time,
go.
puke your guts out time, chumming time, as I called it.
No.
Offshore today, well, there's a small
Love
craft advisories in effect through tomorrow morning. Southwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, increasing to 15 to 20 with gusts to 25 this afternoon. 4 to 6 footers, 5 seconds apart. They're close. Bam. 2 to 4 footers near shore. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop, increasing to choppy this afternoon. Tomorrow, southwesterly winds 10 to 15, seas 4 to 6. 3 to 4 near shore. Sounds and rivers of moderate chop. Southwesterly winds on Friday 15 to 20. Gust 25 in the afternoon. Woo.
Oof.
4 to 6 footers. 3 to 5 near shore. Sounds and rivers choppy. It's going to be better in the future. I was at the Onslow Bay Saltwater Fishing Club, which I rejoined last night.
I heard you last night.
Yeah, I rejoined.
Are y'all getting ready to go protest the North Carolina Department of Marine Fisheries?
We're not going to protest. We're just going to violate all the rules. And, how can they've only got 5
Are we going to see
enforcement
any
officers.
changes?
They only got 5 enforcement officers for this area.
Well, let me know where they're all at before I go out next week. Okay, today, increasing clouds with a high near 74. Southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour with a gust as high as 24. Tonight, cloudy with a low around 53. Thursday, a chance of rain in the morning, mostly cloudy with a high near 74. Friday, a chance of rain, mostly cloudy with a high near 78. Saturday, rain likely, mostly cloudy with a high near 65. And Sunday, rain likely, partly sunny with a high near 61. I tell you the weekend forecast because ever since January 1st, we've had rain every weekend. I think we did this once before, didn't we?
Yep.
Yeah,
Sure.
well, it was done a couple of times before. The time before that, it was
recently.
40 days and 40 nights.
I remember because every Sunday, Chris, it seemed like races were delayed or
Yeah,
rescheduled.
Poor
And
guys can't drive when it's raining a little bit.
Well, they can in
Well,
some
people
races.
around here can't drive when it rains. So,
Well, yeah, but they're not being paid
yeah,
millions
but
of dollars.
those
to do it.
drivers are doing 200 miles an hour.
Boy, they can slow down. That's too fast for conditions.
Not me. On March 7th, I'll be doing 200 miles an hour.
See, and you would be surprised at a lot of the people that we know so well that were all on social media going, yay, the race, So it's not just Rayford. There's a lot of people who love NASCAR.
Yeah, they
Because
to
you
watch the
don't,
wrecks.
doesn't mean it's bad.
Wrecks. They watch the wrecks. They love the wrecks.
Oh, wrecks are fun.
See what I mean? Vicious rubberneckers.
I mean, how
They're
about
paid
that?
rubberneckers. They paid to get the privilege of going in there to.
How about that one they had right there, like it was before the end of the race. It was like
temperatures
Final
up-
lap.
second, third stage,
Temperature's almost 60
like
degrees
20
now,
cars.
Is it?
so it's nice.
No,
Yes.
I was catching both the weather and the racing. So
That
if you
was
get
more
weather and
important.
sports at the same time. Huh? So so the county is supposed to grow in numbers. My question is this: where's the jobs? Where are we having the jobs to bring these people in that are going to
Bring
come live in these-
retirees in.
Yeah, it's a lot
The
of
Yankees.
retirees coming here. Plus the fact that we do have our industrial park here in Jacksonville, right off of Gum
258?
Branch Road.
We've got
That
the
is
industrial
really-
complex there at Holly Ridge.
And we have you been out there? I'm sure you have.
Mhm.
Out the government complex
Yeah.
on Northwest Bridge corridor
Oh.
where they're building that huge medical complex
Yeah.
and there's supposed to be stores and restaurants built there.
Yeah.
So we have that coming in.
Yeah, it's finally going back on the tax books.
Yes. And so with this new piece of property that the city has annexed, there's, did I say what, 34 commercial businesses that are supposed to be going in there right now. That's
Is this proposed project out there? Okay, because I know nothing about it, y'all.
right.
I'm just telling you what rules and regulations there are dealing with annexation and whatever.
Yeah, we know
people
that. Yes.
people are just still confused about.
yes.
The city can't just go out and annex.
No, they
All right,
don't.
period. You can't do it. So people have to ask to do it.
Uh-huh.
If you live in a subdivision that I don't know if after forced annexation, this place was annexed under forced annexation because it was a great source of income. Duh. Country Club Acres, annex it, we get money from them.
Right.
That's one of the reasons that the state said no more of that stuff. You're not supposed to annex just so you have a source of revenue. You're spending too much of your own money that you get now. You fix it. You handle your own problems.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if we decided, if this was not annexed, but we decided that, you know what, I'm tired of paying for a separate garbage pickup. I'm tired of paying for, extra money for water. There's no water and sewer here. We had our own well. We had our own septic tanks here. Yep, that's the way. And a lot of places did and do. I'm tired of all that. I've got to have that honey wagon come and pump out the tank every couple of years. It just stories the lawn when they come across and dig it up and yada, yada, yada. I'm tired of doing all that. I'm tired of getting out there. Oh my God, it's freezing out there. And I got to get out there and keep lights on in the water pump, the pump house, which we had to do. If the light bulb burned out, then your pump froze up. Pipes would burst. Pumps. There were all sorts of problems if you maintain your own system, period. So a lot of people would say, you know what, why don't we all get together and we'll request the city to annex us. So they will provide us water and sewer.
Mm-hmm.
They're required to. If they annex it, we got to pay taxes for it.
Trash
and they
pickup.
provide trash pickup.
Mhm.
We still pay taxes for that.
Mhm.
God, there's a certain amount every month that you pay for your water and sewer that also goes to other things.
Right.
Because the water and sewer that you use is not costing, would not be $100 a month just for that.
Right.
All right, period. So that money goes for other things. There's that, but we would pay for the convenience of not having to get out there in the middle of the night, try to unthaw a pump or to get plumbers out all the time to fix something that has occurred on the other side of the supply. We pay for that service and we may find it easier to do that. That happens. So there is a case for annexation, and these people would provide the city money. The city will not make as much money to pay for the initial annexation cost ever. They don't just suddenly, because they got to go in and they got to run lines.
But according to some people, the city councilmen are getting their pockets filled by all this.
I don't believe
Baloney. It costs a lot of money to go in to put all this infrastructure in.
Yes,
all
it
right?
does.
To take over the roads, to bring them up to the city standards, because in subdivisions, the subdivision people, you've been in subdivisions where they've abandoned it after they finish up building all the houses in there, and then they're gone. They're no longer there. They're no longer responsible
down
for
here off
anything.
of Thomas Humphrey Road.
And then you have to, y'all pay for it in the neighborhood. There comes HOAs. Y'all pay for it there. You pay for it. You're going to pay for it one way or the other, or you request the city to take over. That is as simple as that.
I just want to say, I understand completely both sides. And I am so glad I'm not one of those that have to sit up there on the dais and make a decision.
If I could be the only one sitting up there, I would do it.
And Marcus says he takes dibs. Marcus Covey says he takes dibs on the tank range in the air station, Rayford. You're going to have to fight him.
Not going to happen. I will.
He wants to put a choo-choo track out there.
Always won.
Okay.
Marcus.
Speaking of,
he'll tell you.
Our viewer sending a question. Yes, Thomas, I'm aware of it. I think cohorts here are
about the thing at the U.S. Capitol yesterday.
A guy with a gun went and tried to.
That idiot? You mean the guy with the gun?
Teenager, wasn't he?
18 years old, an idiot. He gets out of his car. He's wearing tactical gear, and he's got a 12-gauge shotgun loaded with spare rounds.
With spare rounds.
And you don't think you're going to be taken down? The one thing he's got to be grateful for is that they didn't bag him and tag him and send him to the morgue.
They didn't go ahead and just fire a round at him. Right?
If you start running at me and you got a shotgun and there's any indication at all, you're dead.
So many news stories we haven't even got to.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance. Yeah, but what was interesting is that yesterday, the police in that area, for the Capitol, had just run a drill about about this. And this guy decides of all days to do it. Congress wasn't even there. The
No,
employees were.
I don't know what his purpose. Driving a Mercedes that wasn't registered to him.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what else. He had a gas mask in the car. Had a Kevlar helmet in the car. And the car didn't belong to him.
He was going to bring down Washington, D.C. all by himself with his shotgun.
Okay. It is a little perplexing, dude. I don't get you. I really don't get you. In Washington, D.C., at the Capitol, near the Capitol, anywhere in the area, and you jump out of a car with a shotgun, tactical gear on, it's a wonder they didn't stitch you.
Seriously.
They used a lot of restraint, I can tell you that. It is Washington, D.C.
Can you conceal carry in D.C.?
Yeah, but if you get arrested for it.
Speaking of such sheriff's office.
Likely, he fit. This guy.
My permit.
Definition of dumb. Oh, here. All right. This. I think this guy has passed the definition of dumb. He's gone straight to stupid. Now, he might get out of jail, prison, or the psycho unit somewhere in the next 10 to 15 years because he's not going to be on the streets of Washington, D.C.
No.
D.C. does not have reciprocal carry.
No, they don't. Well, you can't.
Gun at home.
Well, shotgun is kind of tough to conceal anyway.
He wasn't concealing it.
And besides that, even your concealed carry permit is for a handgun. Defined as a handgun.
Right.
Not a knife, not a machete, not a shotgun.
My question was about handgun.
I got that. Let's do Arizona.
Oh my gosh.
I can do it briefly.
Oh yeah, it won't take long. Go ahead. Sheriff is an idiot. Go ahead.
Until yesterday, had you heard anything about this blue shirt that they found at the scene that suddenly?
It was left by one of the searchers, I think it was.
Turns out that the shirt was seen laying, whatever, along the, I never got those two words set up right.
Laying and lying.
Lie or lay.
Yeah.
That shirt was seen, caught on camera by a Fox News crew.
Yeah.
2 days or 3 days after Ms. Guthrie disappeared. Been left there by a federal law enforcement, specifically a member of the Border Patrol team, the K-9 unit. He took his shirt off and left it there, came back to get it. And suddenly it's made a big deal 2 weeks later. What? Why is that even in the news? The sheriff put it in the news. 2 days. Okay. The sheriff explains how it came there to be there in the first place, called a news conference. Let's go to the DNA. The info on the mysterious glove.
Now we're back down to one glove again. You notice that?
What happened to the other glove? If it don't fit, if they can't find it.
It didn't fit. They threw it away. I don't know.
The mysterious glove from the bush alongside a road 2 miles from the house. Sheriff Nanos.
Nanu.
Told reporters that the DNA was entered into the FBI database, a collection of samples from other cases, known bad people, and who knows what are the sources that they have DNA.
Right.
Those searches are great when the information is obtained, cataloged, and uploaded in a standard way. The sheriff said there was no such match to any DNA samples currently in CODIS to the DNA that came off this glove.
Right. We talked about that.
DNA samples taken from the Guthrie home did not match any that were in the database either. And those samples were different.
Than the glove.
They did not match the sample from the glove.
Right.
Still seems to be a disconnect on what the FBI is doing and stuff that the sheriff is saying. A gun store owner told a reporter that federal agents asked him for help with a series of names, including photographs that he was shown of individuals to see if any had purchased a gun from his store. He said he did not recognize any of the names or the pictures. He did cooperate, and none had bought a gun at his store. Cool. The sheriff, though, says that neither the Bureau nor his office had narrowed the search to specific individuals.
Sheriff.
So if the FBI shows up at the store, or ATF, they call them federal agents, but we don't know what federal agency they were with. feds kind of like all look alike, right?
Mm-hmm.
They show up at a store, two of them, they show a whole bunch of pictures of individuals, as it turns out, related to this whole situation, this investigation, and a bunch of names. And they want to know if any of these people over the past year, or I think it was a year, had bought a gun there, or this guy remembered it. And they went to other gun stores too. He said, no, I don't know anything about it. And the sheriff said, no, there's nobody. We haven't narrowed it down to that. We don't have a list of suspects. Well, Sheriff, you're not necessarily in the loop. Is all I can tell you.
Well, they mentioned, I think last night I saw in one of the reports that he mentioned that there was some DNA found in the house that they may be able to use. But I found interesting they brought a dog in to check for the pings on her phone.
Well, her phone was left there. They have her phone. They've had her phone.
That's what I'm trying to figure out, why they were bringing the dog in to find out where the latest pings were from. But everybody knows, at least what was reported, where she was before she went missing.
Yeah, I'm sure they've already probably been through her phone and done a search on it, because I know they were talking about previous texts,
The
previous
phone gets out of
calls.
range from your pacemaker.
Right,
It's only
right,
a short range.
Yeah.
right. But
However, they have got a team, a company that does Bluetooth and other searches, and they actually fly in airplanes.
yeah, they
And
have
they
to
have
go real low to the ground.
very sensitive equipment
Mhm.
to pick up, and they know what frequency this unit was on and all the information about it. So they have been looking for her pacemaker.
Yeah, we knew that, but we're talking about the phone itself, as far as they have been going through it and trying to get a history of who she may have talked to.
Yeah, but what's that
You
going to
know,
do with the dog?
Nothing to do with the dog. That's why I can't understand why they're even talking about a dog in her cell phone. Cell phone was left right there in the
Who's
house.
talking about it?
The news media was brought it up that they have a dog that was checking for the pings. They have a dog that's
That
trained to
does
do.
not even make sense, does it?
It was on NBC, so what can I tell you?
I know what you mean. There's so much coming out. Now
a
they
lead
have
story.
this new scrubber that they're talking about, that they go up in the air and they're shining down. It's called a scrubber, and they're able to supposedly see where there might have been tire marks on the property or drag marks. And I'm thinking, now there's been so many people on the property. What are you looking for? But it's some kind of infrared technology where they can actually see past everything that has happened since then and see things there that might I don't know. It's just craziness. It's craziness.
You want
Rayford is crazy.
They're called in Cousteau too.
Inspector Cousteau?
No,
Oh,
Jacques Cousteau.
Jacques. Okay. I found interesting.
Rio Grande is not far away.
Oh, you're right.
Well, I have come to the conclusion, I'm sorry, Chris,
No, go ahead.
that I give up trying to figure any of it out. I have no opinion on what happened anymore.
I pray for Mrs. Guthrie, and I pray for the family, because
I do
it's
too.
got to be gut wrenching every day not knowing, because there's no closure. So
Well,
I pray for
Savannah's
them.
husband flew in yesterday to Tucson, Arizona, and the paparazzi's all over him. I mean, leave the man alone, leave the family alone.
Yeah,
God,
they should.
it's just
One other thing that I'd like to bring up is Chuck Schumer.
Well, most people would like to put him down.
Well, they will after this one. 30 years. 30 years is a long time. 3
Go.
decades.
He needs to retire.
Right?
Enjoy life.
You know, it was 30 years ago where he was for voter ID. 30 years ago, he said we need voter ID.
When it was for his benefit.
Yeah.
Who was in office at that time? Who was he running against?
I don't know the last time he ran against anybody.
So he was.
He's been in there for so long.
He was challenging. He was challenging people.
Yeah.
And the only way you can get notoriety is to go up against somebody who is opposed to whatever it is. So you come up, and whatever that other person is opposed to, you can make a name for yourself by being in favor of it.
Quite a few who knew.
That's the
Pelosi's
way
been
it
there
works.
40 years.
Oh, I know. Well,
Yeah, but she was older when she got there.
you don't want me to go there again. Somebody.
Oh, it's Royce. Royce. I knew the number, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that Chris?
Well,
Mercer?
no, I actually,
I finally used his name enough this morning that
Hello,
he's going to
Royce.
call.
well, I did mention
waited
when I saw him, I did mention your love for the new name of the cookie.
Johnson. Oh, he knows that already. He knows that when he
I
came
knew I'd
on.
get a laugh out of
When
him.
he came on the show and told us, and we were sitting there cross-eyed going, what?
But I mentioned that you loved it on Monday night when I saw him.
J-Lo eats, or is that what you said?
Johnslow. Johnslow.
That's kind of like
Jones-
J-Lo, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe we
Royce
should
has the
name it
official
J-Lo.
name.
Oh, Royce is
Royce,
Royce is going to hit me now. I know that.
We have
Hey,
lots
Royce, be
of
nice. I'm
questions
old.
this morning. First of
No,
all,
the website's up. Go to johnslowEats.com. We don't have a lot of content on it yet, but we're getting there.
very good, very good.
Lee will be putting a thumbs up.
Okay, now let me get this straight. Johnslow eats.
Jones Onslow.
Johnslow eats. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. Now, Royce, you were a cop at one time, right? Y'all hush. Don't get ahead of me, all right? You don't even know where I'm going, do you?
No, I just
So,
already know.
Royce, in your days as a cop, did you have any dealings? Did you see anything or do any investigations? Or were you privileged to investigations about hookers, prostitutes?
What?
Yeah.
And their customers were known as what?
John's.
Okay, John. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't believe you're going there. Come on now.
Yeah. I keep getting a
You were
hand.
right. You were right when you said we didn't know where you were going.
I didn't even know where I was going. Give me a break. All right.
It's-
All right, Royce, put us straight because I know that we said something that was wrong.
No, first of all, we want to know,
Yes, we did. I'm
as
sure.
far as the property on Blue Creek Road, did the county initially pass it, the zoning request for a subdivision to be built there?
I think we rezoned some property across the street.
Okay.
I don't think we rezoned that particular parcel
Okay.
that they just annexed. Did they?
The city
Yes.
I
did. The
haven't
city
watched
and
me. They did.
Oh, it was
I
fun.
think I talked to several city council, and I told them about our concerns and our citizens' concerns. But
Mhm.
we don't have any control over what they did,
Right.
and so I didn't even watch it actually. So obviously, you said they passed it. So
Well, they did, but I will say this, Royce. They did say that the county had already passed it, and so it was going to be done.
Yeah, the Tidewater Associates said that it was going to be built regardless of whether it was annexed into the city or not.
Because the county approved it.
So we rezoned. Maybe that was the one we rezoned.
Mhm.
I hadn't looked it up, so I don't know. But we rezoned several parcels out there. I think that there may be a difference in the densities that the city allows compared to what the county would have allowed. But I don't know the answer to that. So yeah, I can't give you a definitive answer because I haven't really looked into it.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
in general, without any specific property, these days, the county, as you and I have talked and here, the county, when somebody comes in and they want to build a subdivision and yada, 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 because of so many subdivisions being basically built in the county with, you don't have a highway department. You don't have anything to go in and fix roads, repair roads, or any of that kind of stuff. Roads don't belong to you, right?
That's right.
Okay, so the roads either stay as private property or the state takes them over. Now, your concerns were, the county's concerns had been expressed to me, is that if a subdivision, if a place is built up and the developers move on, as they do, when they finish with their development, they go, right? And then if they leave behind roads that will not meet State Department of Transportation minimum requirements, then you can't do anything about it.
Well, we do something about it.
I know
That
you
doesn't
do.
happen anymore.
Yeah.
That used to be, we're talking 30, 40 years ago before there was any
zoning in the county at all. As a matter of fact, our zoning started in the early 2000s. So, all these subdivisions that were built earlier than that, there was no regulation on the road at all. And nowadays we require bonds. We require that if they don't get the property turned over to the state, they have to put up bonds. They have to guarantee that there's going to be a maintenance, some kind of maintenance agreement in place. A lot of subdivisions use an HOA for maintenance.
Correct.
But even if they do that, they have to form the HOA and put money away for road maintenance for the future. And the HOA owns the roads and is responsible for the roads. So they either get turned over to the state, or there has to be another maintenance process in place so that we don't end up with these roads that aren't maintained.
So obviously for the owners of the property getting ready to develop it, the easier thing to do, if it could be annexed by a town or city, would be to request that annexation, right? That would be better for them, for the developers, I would assume, right?
It might be, they have to look at their finances and figure out what's better. But, for that subdivision, those roads will probably be, if they're not state maintained, they'll be city maintained. So, the city streets, there'll be city streets. So it'll be, taken care of by Jacksonville. So,
Yep. So
Yeah.
then the developers do not have to worry about any of that.
Right.
Okay.
And,
So
and
which would be
Yeah.
the practical way of doing things. If I was in the developing business, that's the way I would want it done too.
right. And, frankly, it's all about the numbers. It's about whether, what's going to be more cost effective for the developer. They want to do it as cost. You know what? I mean, this leads us right into the conversation about affordable housing. People keep asking me,
There you go.
why don't we have affordable housing? Well, because it costs $2 million to build a mile of roads. We don't have affordable housing because the regulations and the costs to develop are huge. And I mean, this is a market-driven economy. It's an economy of scale. So the only way that we're going to bring the cost for housing down is to increase the availability of housing so that the builders and developers can't sell their houses for $350,000. They have to build houses that people can afford. So it's a real quandary because people don't want the kind of densities that are required to reduce the cost of the housing, but at the same time, it's the only way to reduce the cost of the housing. So we have to balance those kind of needs and desires every time we meet, and rezone or every time the county plats a subdivision. Those kind of concerns are considered, and they have to be, decisions have to be made.
So it's not that these folks didn't get the approval of the county to do what they wanted to do and just run around the county and go to another government agency, right? The city in this case.
Oh, they probably have a lot of reasons for wanting to be in the city.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I heard, and I didn't hear this from them, but one of the things I heard is they wanted the city sewer, and the city won't give them, access to the city sewer system without
Being in the city.
without being in the city limits.
Yep.
So, if the access to the city sewer is important enough to them that they want to be in the city and pay city taxes, then that's their financial decision. So,
All right. So we understand this. There are people that are developers, and there are pieces of land in this county that are not today. The little farms that used to be the mom and pop farms, they could grow a couple of acres of tobacco and make a living off of it back in the day. because they had 12 kids to do all the work for them. So seriously,
Yeah, no, I know.
that's the way family farms were operated.
Mhm.
And then the grandkids came along, same thing. Yeah, well, that's the way it works. But that's today, that piece of property as a farm is not worth that much. 5 or 6 acres of land that was a family farm is not really worth a whole lot as a family farm.
Yeah, you can't make any money. Yeah, I was just the reason I couldn't call earlier and listen to you. I was meeting on some soil and water issues to talk about how we can preserve our agriculture areas and our water qualities and such as that. So that's an important part of this juggling act that we have to do every day. And let me say that a lot of the concerns I heard from citizens was about Blue Creek Road, and
Yep.
Blue Creek Road's terrible. I know it. I just drove past there a little while ago, but again, the only way that we're going to get DOT to improve Blue Creek Road is to increase the need. And you know, more development out there is going to, and with the city, with the city's help, we may be able to get something done with Blue Creek Road sooner than we could otherwise. Of course, the county, the commissioners on the Transportation Advisory Committee will be, are always talking about Blue Creek Road, just like we do Gum Branch, or they do Gum Branch Road. I'm not on that committee anymore. But, we talk about Gum Branch and Blue Creek Road all the time. But you think about it now, the representatives for the city of Jacksonville are going to be concerned about Blue Creek Road too. And that just adds to the weight of that we have with DOT to try to get something done. So I'm hoping that'll be a benefit for Blue Creek Road.
That because you guys don't work on roads and you don't have any dog in that fight. I mean, you get bit a lot, but you don't have a dog in the fight. So I understand that. And DOT does not respond overnight. They have to go to the state level and they have to have priorities established, and that's done on an annual basis and some changes throughout the year. And that depends upon how strong your local representatives are. I mean, that depends upon a lot. There's a lot of politics in Raleigh, and they don't like Eastern North Carolina anyway. So,
you need to encourage our legislators to find some alternative funding for DOT. I know that Senator Lazar has talked about finding alternative funding for DOT. The gas tax just doesn't work. There's just not enough money there.
I don't know why it's gone up tremendously.
Well, the gas tax, I hate the gas tax, but they capped it, I don't know, 10 years ago at 30 some cents. Right. That's good for us buying gas, but it doesn't get more money to fix the road. So I don't know. They got to find another way to fund that.
I don't remember our roads being in this bad a shape when I paid 27 cents for a gallon of gasoline back in the 60s. And that included taxes.
I agree with you 100%. But then I look at how the costs have soared over the last 6 yeof even. I mean, just from 2020, our costs have quadrupled. So a lot of stuff goes into that.
I understand. Okay, Royce.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for calling, Royce.
Appreciate it.
Have a blessed day.
Okay. Y'all have a good day.
Bye.
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 Okay, I did find the information. It went before the county board on December 5th, and they voted unanimously, to rezone it from rural agriculture to 15. And during the first February meeting, the county approved the request to rezone with a 5-2 vote.
Okay.
All right.
So from there, it went to the city.
And now, it's going to be built. It's going to be built.
So
it's going to be built.
They had gotten approval. It was rezoned, so they gave them the capabilities.
So it's going to be built, whether the city annexed it or not.
That's right.
Project's going to be built. Y'all got to understand that. So,
That's right.
going last night, whether to oppose the annexation or not, It didn't matter.
That meeting last night, though, took a little heat off the county, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
It got a little contentious.
But it has nothing to do with the city.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, they're going to be getting city services now.
Yeah,
For
they
us,
are.
so-
Yeah. And at least the roads will be the streets inside the subdivision, and whatever is built, the project will be taken care of because that'll be city.
I
They
love
will,
my
they will
city
have water and they will
services.
have sewer.
But I live in
They
the
will
city.
have all of that.
Right.
And street maintenance will be there. That'll sweep the streets and they'll
Right.
pick up the garbage.
That's right.
Now, that'll be done. If it had not been annexed, that would not have been done.
Right. Right.
Everybody's on their own.
That's right.
Get her done.
Well, like I say, there's people who are for it, people who are against it.
I
But
understand.
the only thing that bothers me in the whole thing is if you're against it, I mean, I've seen people who are strictly against it. So right away, city councilmen are crooks and they're putting money in their pockets.
Stop
And
it, y'all. Just stop it. That's, just
We're going to vote them out.
grow up. You sound like sophomores.
I mean, same thing with what's
In
going
school.
on with the county. You know?
But they're 15, they're 18, 20 years old
Yeah, yeah.
and still sophomores in school.
Right. Stop
real
it.
dumb. Okay. Yeah. And you get out there. I'm glad people get out and raise Cain. Good for you. Just
Well, I would say the people last night at the city council, I mean, they were raising Cain, but it wasn't in a bad.
well, I
loud,
want them to
threatening
get bad.
way.
I want them to break bad, so we'll have something
Well,
really
one
to talk
person did
about.
get
Well,
thrown
there
out.
was some that were very.
Who got kicked out?
I don't know who it was, but
I'm gonna say it was the gentleman that said he didn't work in the service, so he's just got minimal Social Security, but he's teaching young people, young college students,
Good luck.
shop, things like that.
well, I will
Like-
tell you that Representative Phil Shepard spoke on behalf of the people. Our former Senator Tommy Pollard spoke
I
on behalf of the
understand.
people. On behalf of that, you had Johnny Shiver, you had Mandy Daughtry,
Yeah.
a lot of people that got up and spoke on behalf of the people, because they live out there or they're connected somehow. And they all brought up basically the same points. We don't want the increased traffic. We have a 2-lane road. We don't want the burden on the schools. And, it's not like it's going to be
gonna
built
be
overnight.
there.
Right.
The burden on the schools is going to be there.
Always.
There's going to be a need for one school per year
That's right.
for the rest of our lives.
Yeah. We're
Think
growing.
about it.
I mean, like I say, I understand both sides of it. I really, really do.
You got
But
a
you know
family
what?
moves
We're
in, they
growing.
got 2 kids. Well, guess what? It doesn't take long to fill up a school with 2 kids per family.
That's right. And it's not like it's going to be built overnight. It takes time.
What do we increase in the population? They're thinking by 500 students per year. Hello.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a school, y'all.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a school. Okay. Thanks for your input, everyone.
Yeah.
Just look at things, look at the laws, look at the rules, look at what these folks, our government leaders don't just go out on a whim and do stuff. All right.
Right.
They have their reasons. You might not like their reasons as often as not. I don't like half of the reasons, sometimes more than that.
I don't always agree, but
I mean, but it is. I'm just one person, and I don't have to like it. If I don't like it so much, I would run for election, and then I'd be a rabble rouser. I would be a pain in the butt of everybody.
Chris, have we got any city or county meetings tonight?
No.
Oh,
Good, you can
thank
watch
you.
something else on TV.
Be peaceful.
All I
tonight.
heard last night was ding, ding,
We
ding.
didn't know you were at a meeting.
Ding, ding,
We were like,
ding,
did you
ding.
see that?
The guy sitting beside me said, "What's going on?" I said, "The world's coming to an end."
well, I didn't want to get in trouble today, but I lost a bet last night. And I was supposed to be wearing an NC State shirt
Did
today.
they not whoop up on the
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
Well-
Keith. I know you're just like overjoyed.
Okay, just remember this:
Go
our big
back.
guys will be back, and we'll see you in
Well,
Chapel
they
Hill.
whipped up on
You
that
sound like
guy.
every high school
I
football coach
know.
waiting until next year. Real talk,
It's-
where we're never right or left. How's that?
That's good.
I like it.
That's good.
We'll see you in the morning.
Have a
Be
blessed
safe.
day.
Bye.